Hi, and welcome to the 2020 Fannin County School System Annual Retiree Recognition Program. Thank you for joining me, Sarah Rigdon, along with fellow Assistant Superintendents Robert Inslee and Darren Danner, and Superintendent Michael Gwatney, as we celebrate our retirees and spend a few moments reminiscing about their many years of service to our schools and the community. Before we begin, Dr. Gwatney has a few words to share with this year's retirees.
Hello, this is Superintendent Michael Gwatney. Thank you for viewing this program to honor this past year's retirees from the Fannin County School System. Retirees, I'm sure the last few months did not play out as you had always thought they would. I think many people approach retirement thinking about their last time to do various parts of their job. Your last day, your last field trip, your last school celebration. None of us realized that those last moments would not come to pass for you. You may feel some sense of loss because you missed out on that last school celebration or those bittersweet goodbyes from students and colleagues alike. Though this spring was certainly not what any of us imagined it would be, as I look through your pictures and hear your reflections about your career in education, I can smile knowing that your life's work was meaningful and made a difference. Few, if any, careers touch as many people across the community as a career in education. After all, you have been a part of the greatest and most honorable profession, the one profession through which all professions must pass, and the one that allows you the opportunity to make the future better. Please know that even though we are not celebrating together, I am grateful for all you have done. I wish you the very best for you and your family as you open this new chapter in your life. Thank you for your service to the Fannin County School System, and may God bless you today and every day.
Our first retiree is Katrina Jourdan, Blue Ridge Elementary. Katrina has taught 2nd and 3rd grades, as well as 5th grade, and special education students. She began working in Fannin County Schools in December of 1990. She has worked at West Fannin Middle School, McCaysville Elementary School, and finally Blue Ridge Elementary. In retirement, she's planning to enjoy more and worry less. She also is looking forward to doing what she wants to do and not caring who is watching. Her favorite thing about her career is knowing that she made a difference in the lives of kids. Recently, she saw a parent of a child she taught many years ago, and that parent reminded her what a difference she had made to her daughter. That is what teaching is all about. Katrina wants everyone to remember to show respect to everyone. It should never matter your position in the educational process. You never know when you need somebody, and people never forget how you make them feel. One of her favorite stories happened many years ago around Christmas time. Students were helping her carry some items to her car. It was such a big help to her that the next day she thanked them with a treat. The day after that, a student came up to her and handed her a $20 bill. She asked, "What's this for?" And he said, "Yesterday, while I was carrying out your things, I dropped your turkey and I think I broke it. I wanted you to take this money and buy a new one." She says she tried so hard not to laugh. She hugged him and told him the turkey was just fine. Thank you, Katrina.
Our next 4 retirees are from East Fannin Elementary School. Gary Baxter. Gary was the media specialist this year. Gary was hired in Fannin in August of 2015. Gary's first teaching job was in Washington County, Georgia. Gary has also taught in Alabama, 3 years as a media specialist at Smith Station High, 8 years at media specialist at Susie Allen Elementary, and 3 years social studies teacher at T.J. Elder Junior High. Jerry then came back to Georgia to Muskogee County for 12 years as a media specialist at Blackman Road Middle and Veterans Middle School. Gary's retirement plans are to volunteer at East Fannin during book fairs. Gary enjoys gardening, trout fishing, and Auburn football. Gary's advice to our leaders and employees is be a servant in action and word as Jesus follows. Also give the Lord the praise and honor at the end of the day's work. He deserves it for all the wonderful things he does through your person. Your work reflects him. Gary's greatest accomplishment would be to have the privilege to show love and caring for our children at East Fannin. Employment Day was the greatest day. Gary would like to share Miss Sarah Rigdon has been such a blessing. I admire her so much of her positive leadership qualities, honesty, and kindness. She gave Gary the opportunity to work at East Fannin. Miss Redding took a chance to introduce him to East Fannin and the great kids. Sarah has the great heart for children of Fannin County because she loves her community. She's a fine person. Thank you, Sarah, for the honor of serving under you. Mr. Gary Baxter. Our next retiree is Vicki Clemmons. Vicki was the SIS person at East Fannin when she retired. She was hired in Fannin County in September 1971 at Blue Ridge Elementary School by Buck Arp. Vicki worked at Blue Ridge Elementary until 1975, where she took a small break to care for her son. She was then hired in 1985 as a parapro at Morganton. She then moved into the secretary's role when Morganton and East Fannin consolidated. Vicki's retirement plans is to enjoy each day to the fullest. She is thankful for every day that God has given her to spend with her family. Vicki's advice to her colleagues is don't wait 40 years to retire. Vicki's response to her greatest day was every day was a good day, but when FTE got signed off, it was a great day. Vicki would also like to share no matter how hard it gets, just keep smiling. Every child deserves a smile. Don't forget to give them one. Miss Vicki Clemmons. Our next retiree is Michele Cutrone. Michele was hired in Fannin County in July of 2016. Michele taught special education to kindergarten through 5th grades. Michele first began teaching in Montreal, Canada, where she taught French kindergarten through 5th grades. She then worked in a K-5 private school in Naples, Florida. She then taught 1st and 3rd grade in Charlotte, North Carolina. She then taught Hispanic students in Hall County, Georgia, where she received Teacher of the Year. Michele has taught for 35 years and was gratefully fulfilled by her students' love of learning, their sense of wonder, and their ability to rise to challenges. Michele plans on spending time with her granddaughters Sienna and Arabella and volunteering in Fannin County. She wants to pursue her childhood passions of painting and swimming and improve her Italian. Her advice to colleagues is to celebrate often, embrace their baby steps, and be mindful of the whole child. Miss Michele Cutrone. Our last retiree from East Fannin is Penny Daves. Penny taught 1st grade this year. Penny was hired in Fannin County in December of 1988. She began her teaching at Fannin County Head Start, then Morganton Elementary, until it consolidated with East Fannin in 1993. She has taught pre-K, kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 6th, and 7th grade, but most have been spent in kindergarten, which is 21 years. Penny's retirement plans include taking her granddaughter to preschool, spending time with her family, and traveling the country in her camper. Penny's advice to colleagues is love your students like they are your own family, and always remember you might be the only person that shows love toward them. Penny's greatest accomplishment was working with fabulous colleagues throughout her career and helping teachers and students find their strengths. Her most memorable moment was seeing her daughter stand during the new hair announcement by the school system and working with her adopted daughter during her student teaching experience. Miss Penny Daves.
Our next East Fannin Elementary School retiree is Miss Debbie Dillinger. Debbie has served as a nutrition assistant since August of 2000. She has worked at Fannin County Middle School, West Fannin Elementary School, and East Fannin Elementary School. Her retirement plans include looking forward to working around her house, continuing to enjoy her grandbabies and her girls. Her advice to colleagues should remind everyone to keep smiling while you work because you never know what situation each student or coworker is in, and they just may need some quiet kindness. Her greatest accomplishment as an employee, she says, each day is great because of the wonderful people she worked with. Other things that she would like to share, she wanted to say thank you for allowing her to work in the school system for 20 years in such a good environment. She is so grateful for the joy, the support, and the friends she has made. Thank you, Debbie. Our next retiree from East Fannin is Miss Pam Mathis. Pam was hired in September of 1988 at Mineral Bluff Elementary as a parapro, and then as a teacher in 1992. She moved to East Fannin in 1993 and has been there ever since. Her retirement plans are to travel, enjoy her family, and not set a morning alarm. Her advice to colleagues would be to not to sweat the small stuff and enjoy the students. She has enjoyed being a part of the Fannin County school system. Thank you, Pam. Our next retiree from East Fannin is Yvonne Sands. Yvonne has served as a nutrition assistant since August of 2005. She has worked at West Fannin Elementary School and East Fannin Elementary School. Her retirement plans are to travel and possibly do some part-time work. Her advice to colleagues: the children are the most important. Other things that she would like to share is working at East Fannin with Heather Cobb, Missy Annis, Christy Sparks, and Debbie Dillinger, with Missy driving her crazy daily. Thank you, Yvonne.
Our first retiree from West Fannin Elementary is Mary Ausburn. Mary was hired in 1988, and she has worked at both Epworth Elementary and West Fannin Elementary. She primarily worked with second and third grade students, but she also worked some in in-school suspension. Her advice to colleagues includes loving each child because sometimes we're the only ones that are there to encourage them. Her greatest accomplishment was seeing the joy in children's faces when they would succeed. Mary wants everyone to know that this wasn't just a job, this was her love. Thank you, Mary. Our next retiree from West Fannin is Althea Davenport. Althea worked in the nutrition department, and she was hired on August 7th, 2007. Mrs. Davenport worked at the high school for 11 years and West Fannin for 2 years. Some of her retirement plans include doing just exactly as she pleases. Her advice to colleagues is, hang in there, your time will come too. Her greatest day or greatest accomplishment was always giving it her best, no matter what job she had. Thank you, Althea. Our next retiree from West Fannin Elementary is Becky Pack. Becky was hired in August 1986 by the Fannin County School System. She has worked at McCaysville Elementary School and at West Fannin Elementary School. First, she was a parapro, and later she became the secretary and student information specialist. Some of her retirement plans include trying to keep her best friend Jane out of trouble. Good luck with that, Becky. Her advice to her colleagues is, hang in there, because your time is coming too. Thank you, Becky. Our next retiree at West Fannin Elementary is Jane Ralston. Jane was hired by the Fannin County School System in August of 1996, and she worked at West Fannin Elementary School from 1996 to 2019. Currently, Jane is the nutrition clerk for Mountain Education Charter High School. Some of her retirement plans include trying to keep her best friend Becky Pack out of trouble. Good luck, Jane. Advice that she has for her colleagues includes finding something to be happy about every single day. And if you're not sure what to be happy about, students are a great place to start. Her greatest accomplishment was seeing a child outside of school one day who recognized her and wanted a hug. If she had anything else that she would want to share with all of us, it is to enjoy every single day. Thank you, Jane. Our last retiree from West Fannin Elementary is Sandra Sisson. Sandra began in August of 1992 as a bus driver, serving Blue Ridge Elementary, East Fannin Elementary, and Fannin County Middle School up until 2008 when she became a paraprofessional. After becoming a parapro at West Fannin, she has worked in every grade from kindergarten through 5th grade. Her retirement plans include doing some traveling and spending lots of time with her son and family. Her advice to colleagues is to face every challenge with a smile. She says that if she needed to pick one greatest day, that greatest day would have been on April 12, 1995, when Mr. Williams took her and others to pick up her brand new school bus. Her greatest accomplishment was when she became a parapro and started helping little ones learn things for the first time, and she got to see the look on their faces as they learned things. Thank you, Sandy. Fannin County Middle School has 4 retirees this year. Our first retiree is Diane Bailey. Diane began teaching in the Fannin County school system in August of 1990. Since her hiring, she has taught business connections at both West Fannin Middle School and Fannin County Middle School. Her retirement plans include adventures with her 86-year-old father and enjoying spending time with him. She is also looking forward to deciding what activities she wants to do on any given day. Goodbye, days of rigid schedules. Her advice to colleagues is to enjoy the time you have with your fellow teachers and staff members. It's gone way too soon. Learn to laugh at yourself because you know they're laughing at you. Enjoy your time with your students. Some of the things they say and do are hilarious, while some others will be heartbreaking. Balance your tears with laughter, and you will be able to survive teaching. Her favorite memory was when a student that was a bit of a handful presented her with a card for always being kind and caring toward him. He worked with another teacher to make sure that every word was spelled right because Miss Bailey wants everything done correctly. That treasure is in a special folder even to this day. Diane says that if this pandemic hasn't taught us anything else, maybe it has at least taught us to love and take care of ourselves and others, but most especially to tell those important people in our lives how much they mean to us. Fannin Middle teachers, admin, and staff, as well as the whole school system, you are special to me. Thank you, Diane. Our next retiree is Anona Hemming. Anona has just finished her 31st year as a teacher. She began her career in Polk County, Tennessee, teaching special education students in grades 8 through 12 and 10th grade world geography at Copper Basin High School. She also worked some in adult education in Polk County. After leaving Polk, she taught 1 year at East Fannin Middle School before moving to Fannin County Middle School. Her retirement plans include taking one day at a time. She has 2 memories that come to mind as she looks back. One was a phone call that Brenda Payne asked her to make a parent regarding a minor bus accident. Before Anona could tell the parent what had happened, she was distraught and began begging to hear that her child was okay. Luckily, her child was fine. The second memory was of a severe weather day when she noticed that it was dark outside, but the call to put students in the hallway hadn't come through the office yet. It took Grady Bryson saying that the shingles were flying off the roof to put everyone into motion to evacuate classrooms. Her advice to colleagues is to take advantage of the benefits packages offered by your employer, including long and short-term disability and legal insurance. You never know when health issues can arise, and it will give you peace of mind in troubling times to know that you have some income protection to fall back on if needed. Thank you, Anona. Our next retiree is Julia Kaye. Julia has just finished her 30th year as a teacher, working as the math interventionist at Fannin County Middle School. She started her career at West Fannin before moving to Fannin County Middle School, where she's taught a range of subjects from math to history to language arts. Her retirement plans are not to have any plans for a while. She is looking forward to being off the clock. Once she adjusts to her new routine, she's looking forward to travel, boating, gardening, lots of Netflix, and picking out a puppy. As her journey in education is coming to an end, she says she can tell all those looking forward to retirement it's worth it. Your time will come too. Thank you, Julia. Our last retiree at Fannin County Middle School is David Queen. David has taught special education students at Fannin County Middle School since his hiring in August of 2016. Prior to working in Fannin, David taught at Upson County Middle School in Thomaston for 10 years. Prior to that, he taught 3rd through 5th grades at Crossroads Psychoeducational Center in Griffin, Georgia for 6 years. David is looking forward to enjoying spending time with his family, hunting, fishing, and gardening, as well as volunteering at his church and also through Feed Fannin. His advice to colleagues is to remember that while teaching can be difficult and frustrating, it is also one of the most rewarding jobs that he's ever had. Laugh with your students and peers and treat your students as you would your own children. His greatest accomplishment was being selected as the Teacher of the Year at Fannin County Middle School. David says that even though he has only been in Fannin a few years, it's a great school system. He has enjoyed his time at the middle school and says that he will miss the students and the wonderful faculty there. Thank you, David.
Our next retirees are from Fannin County High School. Our first retiree is Miss Lynn Burch. Miss Burch was hired in 1992 for the Fannin County school system. She has worked in several places from 1980 to 1981 at Patterson High School, where she taught home economics. From 1980 to 1982, Pierce County High School, where she taught home economics. 1982 to 1990, she was a stay-at-home mom to 4 wonderful children, including living a year in Jerusalem, Israel. From 1990 to 1992, she was at Arnold Middle School in Columbus, Georgia, teaching home economics. But from 1992 to 2020, she has served at Fannin County High School, where she has taught home economics, family and consumer sciences, and work-based learning. Her retirement plans include enjoying family and traveling when COVID-19 permits. Her advice to colleagues is treat your students like you would want your children to be treated. Always err in favor of the student and be kind. Her greatest accomplishment is helping students in FHA, and FCCLA compete in region, state, and national competitions. Watching students on a national stage receive gold and silver medals is life-changing. Watching my students grow and become productive members of society and being able to have some teach with me in the same system. As much as it made my children mad, I still enjoy going to places in Blue Ridge where former students will share what they are doing or what recipes they have mastered. I still get random text messages from students asking how to cook something or where would they find an ingredient in the grocery store. Thank you, Lynn, for your years of service. Our next retiree at Fannin County High School is Miss Martha Chastain. Martha was hired on March the 1st, 1988. She has been the Fannin County High School registrar for all of those years. She has retirement plans of camping, traveling, gardening, church work, reading, and enjoying her pool. Her advice to colleagues, in my mother's words, remember every day is a gift from God. Always be thankful, always count your blessings, smile, and remember to make someone feel special. Something she would like to share? She has had the privilege of seeing many children come through the school system and graduate, then have seen their children come through and graduate. What a blessing. She has had the privilege of working for 4 different principals and 5 different superintendents. That's endurance, she says. I cannot even count the wonderful friends that she has made throughout her career with the Fannin County School System. She says thank you and that she will miss everyone so much. Her greatest day is 32 years of service and her retirement. Thank you, Miss Martha. Our next retiree from Fannin County High School is Miss T.C. Dillard. Miss Dillard's current job is babysitting two amazing Jofi children and gardening. The reward is seeing both of them grow daily. Miss Dillard was hired for the Fannin County school system on August the 1st, 1987. She has worked proudly at one school only, Fannin County High School, where she served as a business teacher for 21 years and then served as an assistant principal for 11 and a half. Her advice to her colleagues: no matter what is going on around you, stop every day and remember why you went into the education profession. It was because you loved kids, and that very reason is why the kids need you now more than ever before. Love the kids. Her greatest day or accomplishment, she says, for the past 10 years on graduation night, the administrative team would walk together down the steps of the bleachers in their gowns and onto the field to watch participants in the ceremony. There was a sense of pride, accomplishment, and a feeling during that walk that is indescribable. Then seeing the faces of the students hugging each other and giving them some kind of token, and finally watching the hats being thrown into the air, was so proud. The sad part was going back into the empty building, knowing they were gone. But the next day, it started all over again. What an awesome and amazing profession. Anything else she would like to share? She said, "Thank you to the teachers and staff. They are true caring professionals. Thank you to Eric Shofey for his turning the school around and making me proud to be an administrator at Fannin County High School. To Scott Ramsey for teaching me that it doesn't matter if you are off someone's Christmas card list as long as you are being fair and consistent. Thank you to Darren Danner for always striving to be at the top of the totem pole, and to Heather Collis and Amy Williams for always having my back. You guys are the best. Thank you, Miss Dillard." Our next Fannin County High School retiree is Miss Pamela Garrett. Miss Garrett's current job is spoiling her grandbabies as much as possible and working evenings at Mountain Education Charter High School. She was hired for the Fannin County school system on September the 16th, 1996, where she has served for the past 23 years at Fannin County High School. She also has worked 9 years at night for the Fannin Mountain Education Charter High School. Her retirement plans include spending time with her family and grandbabies and enjoy life every day. Any advice she would give colleagues? Hang in there. Retirement is around the corner. Then every day is a snow day. You can do whatever you want to do. Her greatest accomplishment, she says, in 2014 when she received the Philip Wright Award from North Georgia GLRS. This honor awards advocates of students with disabilities. Other things that she wanted to share, she says that she was blessed to work for the Fannin County school system. She had built numerous friendships with coworkers and staff and has enjoyed getting to know each of the thousands of students that she met along the way. Thank you, Ms. Pam. Our next Fannin County High School retiree is Miss Susan Protzman. Ms. Protzman served as a math teacher at Fannin County High School and was hired and started on July the 29th, 2019. Her plans for retirement, she says, her husband Bob and her plan to take time to get completely connected with her new community, find favorite hiking trails, do some camping, as well as finding volunteer opportunities. They also plan to increase travel in the U.S., including trips to see their sons, Blake, Ben, and Chris, who live in Georgia. Her personal hobbies include reading, gardening, and paper crafting. She expects to settle into a routine which includes those hobbies as well. Her advice to colleagues: work hard, play hard, focus on the kids at all times, but maintain a balance. Take care of yourself, colleagues, and thank you, Ms. Protzman. Our final retiree at Fannin County High School is Miss Debbie Thomas. Debbie has served as a paraprofessional since 1995. She has worked at Fannin County Middle School and Fannin County High School. Her plans for retirement are to spend more time with her 3 daughters and 8 grandchildren. Her advice: enjoy every day of life because time goes by fast. One of her greatest days was being hired into the Fannin County school system and having the opportunity to work with kids every day. Other things she wanted to share: God has blessed me. I am so thankful for all the great people I got to work with. Thank you, Miss Debbie.
Our first retiree from the transportation department is Dan Long. Dan was a longtime driver for Fannin County Schools, 40 years and 3 months. Dan was hired in September 1979. Dan drove for East Fannin and Fannin County Middle School. Dan started driving at Morganton Elementary, and with the middle school was at East Fannin. Dan drove bus number 3, then number 2, and his last bus number was 17, and has driven countless extracurricular events. Dan plans on enjoying life and retirement. Mr. Dan Long. Our next transportation retiree is Pauline Stomey. Pauline was hired in 1990, and Pauline has chosen as her retirement not to fill out these silly questions. Our last retiree is Doyle Stanley. Doyle currently drove for Blue Ridge and for Fannin County High School. Doyle drove for Fannin County School for 19 years. Doyle plans to slow down and enjoy life and hopefully continue to be healthy. Doyle's accomplishment was 19 years of driving with impeccable safety record. Mr. Doyle Stanley.
As we conclude our recognition, we would like to thank ETC for their generous financial support. Every retiree has received several locally made and locally sourced gifts because of ETC's commitment to education and educators in Fannin County. Finally, thank you to all our retirees for your dedication to our students, their families, your colleagues, and our community as a whole. Enjoy every moment of your retirement.